So we got to talk about AI, because you have this was the one where I was like, whoa, I did not fucking see this coming. So at the end, you're like, in one of these ways of people worrying and having all this fear and anxiety about what AI is going to do, you're like, nah, bitch, just surrender to it. It's better than us.
Yeah. I find it and let me preface this of like, I'm not an AI scientist. I don't think about these issues 24/7 like a lot of people do. But I've read the same books and listened to the same podcasts probably most people have. And speaking of something that I just laugh at, other people are like, well, human race is gonna be annihilated because AI is gonna produce more efficient toothpicks from our bones. Like I just find the whole thing hilarious. Yeah. I find it absolutely ridiculous. Eventually we're going to develop machines that outstrip us in terms of intelligence by such a degree that to think that we have any control, and B, would even know what the fuck to do with it if we had it, I just find absurd. Like it's like thinking your dog, it's like training your dog to beat you at chess. Like it's just your dog has no conception of, your dog's understanding of morality ends at good boy, it's, and our understanding of morality is going to be similarly limited in the face of like what AI can comprehend and process.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a couple issues. One is like, what form will we create these at? Will we create these fucking iRobot, Terminator kind of machines that are equipped with it, and then that have a directive that we don't have control? Like, I think people are going to be mad hesitant for that. But as far as like thinking, like there's no doubt that thinking is kind of done. Now, what's interesting then, all right, and chess is ultimately algorithmic with a clear objective. Art, on the other hand, like poetry, art, will AI, but they might. Because they might be able to analyze. They might be able to analyze the art that is loved and then produce that in such a way that it's irresistible.
There is AI produced art. There's AI produced written symphonies now. Some of it's okay. It's still not great. There's AI fan fiction. I think there's one of my end notes I referenced like a Harry Potter book that was written by an AI, and apparently it's not awful. Like it's not good, but it's readable. You can actually read it. There's a story and there's like dialogue and stuff that makes sense. I just feel like when people start worrying about this stuff, I think we're projecting the worst aspects of our own nature onto AI. Yeah. Like we're the ones who committed genocide. We're the ones who like rape and pillage large populations of people en masse. Like it's we're the ones who kill each other over frivolous and silly things. So, the idea that AI is going to do that just because we're not like, they don't need us to drive cars anymore, I just find to be absolutely.
I find that absolutely insane too. It's the same argument for aliens. Like, I'm not convinced that there are actual physical aliens or not, but if there are and they can beam here in the fucking speed of light from some distant galaxy that we can't even fucking find, their brain is probably way more evolved and they're probably tapped into AI anyway. So what makes us think that they want to fuck us up? Like, what is this Independence Day fantasy that like they want to hurt us? Like, most likely they're cooler than us. Like, most likely their morality has fucking evolved to a point where they're in equanimity or something. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you watch Fire in the Sky and they're like pulling fucking scrotum and fucking fingernails off, that's pretty ruthless, but who knows if that shit existed.
I think we're projecting on the worst aspect
because that's the shit that we did. Go to the dungeons of the Inquisition, see the fucked up shit that we did to witches, people who didn't believe in that particular form and variety, that flavor of Catholicism of the moment.
I mean, stuff people still do today. Governments still do today. I think of an alien, like a superior alien race came across Earth, it would be like I imagine it'd be like walking into like one of those cat cafes in Japan where it's just like dozens and dozens of kittens like running around and like swatting at each other. You're just like, man, it's
so cute.
It's so cute.
And you just don't disturb it.
Yeah,
like,
you just
don't
let
disturb
them
the cat cafe.
Thing.
Like if you go to a natural habitat of animals, you're a dick if you start slapping animals around and fucking, it's like, no, leave the habitat. Like leave the habitat Earth and maybe put some boundaries on it. Because now, who the fuck knows? I mean, all this is just real like hypothesis, but I think you're right. This idea that it's going to be the worst of us.
Sure.
is definitely a false idea. But the thing that I don't know is, all right, you talk about Elliot, and I want to go into this. You talk about Elliot. Elliot lost his ability to feel. And Elliot was a fucking idiot.
Yes.
He was an idiot
Yeah.
because he couldn't feel. And I think to make art, you have to feel.
Yes.
And now,
but you also have to think.
You also have to think. But AI can mimic the algorithm of feeling. It can mimic the algorithm of consciousness, but can it actually experience it in a way that could produce like feeling that would create good art or good story or achieve consciousness? That's where I become dubious.